Hey friends, Sherry here. It's been a while since I made a process video, but today I'm feeling inspired. And before I get started, I actually started working on the layout and then thought, hey, I think I'll do a video. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about how this came to be. A couple of days ago, the grandparents were in town and we were outside just enjoying the beautiful day, and my daughter gathered some leaves and just made this cute little word fall on the sidewalk, and I thought it was so pretty. I wanted to take photos, of course, so I took a photo of it, and I was so inspired by these leaves that I knew a layout was going to come about from this. So I printed this photo on matte paper, photo paper, and this photo was from my iPad, and my initial concept was I wanted to replicate the leaves using watercolors. A couple of weeks ago, Wilna Furstenberg did a video with watercolored leaves, and I was so enamored of those leaves I just couldn't stop thinking about them. So I thought I would combine this photo with the painted leaves. So that's kind of how this got started. So I started off with watercolor paper, 12 by 12 watercolor paper, and went to the Silhouette store, and I had some leaves already in my library, so I just picked a few leaves, wanted them basically all to be the same scale because the leaves in here are basically the same scale, and crammed as many leaves as I could onto this cut file and cut it out on my Cameo. I think I used setting 7, and it actually did a double cut, and they turned out so nicely. So that's that, and here are the gorgeous leaves. Oh my word, I'm obsessed with these leaves. I used my koi watercolors. Just they're so easy to use. I have this cool little tray that you can just keep adding to, and occasionally it dries out and I'll just add more water to it. But I stuck all the die cut leaves on a brown paper bag and just had fun adding layers and layers of color. Of course, you know, if you mix warm and cool colors you'll get brown, but some of these weren't totally dry, but it really didn't matter because the brown kind of added to the decayed look of the leaves. But anyway, that was the process there. So I got all these cut out, and I just love, love, love the way they look. I'm going to zoom in there. Oh, so beautiful. We're allowed to say it's beautiful, right? Okay, so I know I'm going to use these somehow, and I decided I thought it would be awesome to use this as my title, the actual letter. So I got this printed, I started cutting it out, and I thought, you know, this is pretty and I love it, but I just remembered the colors being more vivid, and then I remembered I had taken some photos with my Nikon, so I jumped over and printed one of those, and I can't believe the difference in intensity of color. This is the difference of color here that you can really see, the intensity. This was with my Nikon. And so anyway, I decided I would go that route. So here I have cut out the letters out of the leaves, and that's going to be my title. And okay, off camera, I played around with this layout for quite some time. Initially, I thought I would take that striped paper behind my craft mat there and do a vertical row of leaves on either side, and at one point I thought I would do scattered leaves, and somewhere in the middle of all my fiddling around I decided that I would do a frame of leaves around the photo. It wasn't too long into this process when I started realizing it was just too much, and it was really taking away from the photo. And if you know anything about me at all, you know that I like the photo to be the star. That's my whole point of this process. I mean, I do love the creativity and playing, but I really like the photo to shine. So I'm just packing those leaves around there and fiddling around, just trying to get the right placement. And I think got most of it done when I decided that I hated it. Is that too strong of a word? It's pretty much how I felt. And so I decided to go ahead and rip those leaves off and change. And also, as you will see, here we go now with I decided I had a couple of problems with the other layout. The letters were too large, the title. The photo was too large. And so once I scaled everything down, everything kind of fell into place. I had to reprint, of course, the word fall and fussy cut those again. Fun. I didn't want to bore you watching me fussy cut around those leaves. So I scaled the photo down to a square, which I loved, and somehow initially I think I was going to start off that way, and I don't know how I got derailed from that concept. So here I am pulling out the Pink Paislee Cedar Lane puffy stickers, and you'll kind of watch me just fuss around with leaves still and try to decide where I'm going to place everything. I was really excited when those puffy stickers just matched the corally tones in those flowers in the forefront there so perfectly. And just playing around with leaves, playing around. This was one of those days when, even though it looks like it's painstaking, it was really just kind of fun and therapeutic just to play around with these colorful leaves. I have several leaves left, and I've got to make something else with them. I'm just obsessed with them. I may just paint a bunch just to have as little embellishments from time to time. Here I am just trimming off the back side, so that will obviously not be larger than 12 by 12. Let's see. Another thing that I thought I was going to do initially was trim the paper down 1/4 of an inch and have pattern paper behind it, but I just couldn't find one that I liked. And then I realized the page kept screaming to me like, hey, let me be simple, let me just shine without adding too much. So that's what I did. I just kind of let the page dictate what I needed to do. Let's see here. I'm still just futzing around with that. You'll see the end result, the layout is not much different than this. I think I do decide that I need something around the edge just to kind of frame everything. So I end up machine stitching around the outer edge, and rather than stitching through the leaves, I just decide to go ahead and stitch in the open areas where typically I would stitch around the whole page. I didn't really want to tack those leaves down because I wanted them to appear as if they were floating around, and I really love the end result. It kind of gives it a little bit of movement, and the broken up stitching. Here I'm just doing some journaling lines. I just wanted to make sure that we all remembered that Paige gathered those leaves and made that pretty word. And so I'm just going to document that. And I still love that. I may just blow the photo up and hang it somewhere. It's so pretty. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. It's beautiful. So I'm almost done here, just futzing around a little bit more. And this was one of those cases where, you know, my initial instinct was to do scattered leaves, and then I got off on a tangent and
kind of lost my way a little bit, but it's fun to come back full circle and go, no, this is really what I was meant to do on this layout. So here I'm just putting down another little arrow and heart from those gorgeous little puffy stickers. And I love that pack. And here's some close-up shots. And as always, thanks for stopping by. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Thank you.